Welcome, everybody, to the Positive Vibes Only Show. My name is Omar. I am your host. And while this is a new show and a new thing that we're doing right now, and I'll get into all that later on, I just wanted to share some breaking news today. I should have been on here a lot sooner. Again, a lot of technical difficulties getting all this stuff set up. I've had it set up, and then of course things change. So, Zach Wilson, the quarterback for the New York Jets, the number two pick from the NFL draft, and the former BYU Cougar, is back at the to be back. He's back to be QB1, starting for the New York Jets this Sunday against the Detroit Lions. Mike White, who was starting, apparently suffered an injury. He did suffer an injury, and he wasn't cleared. He was cleared for practice. This is what Coach Saleh had to say. Coach Saleh had to say that he was clear for practice, but not clear for contact. I've noticed throughout the day that there are people that have been saying, "How could he have come back in the game?" That could be a valid question. However, the facts are going forward that Zach is the guy, and this is great news. Obviously, we are this is a program that supports our players. We wish Mike nothing but the best. We hope his season is not over. There's some rumblings that is being kind of debated right now internally. And let's hope that that's not the case because we don't want to see Joe Flacco anymore. I think that's universal amongst most Jets fans. So we have Mike, who's been a competent backup, and we have Zach, who is our leader, who is our future, who is the number two draft pick, and he needs to start. So this is great news. There has been a lot of debate about this. It seems like more and more information is coming out that the reason that we're in this position is because Zach Wilson did something bad and basically left the coaches with no choice but to sit him down for a little while, and they called it a reset. I've always thought that something that he was being punished, and I feel like Coach Saleh, who I am a huge admirer of, he's an inspiration. I find him to be an inspiration, and I'm a big believer in Coach Saleh. I feel like he's been lying to us a lot this year. It's tough to say what he's lying about, but there are times when you just hear things like, we have three, quarterbacks that can run the offense at an elite level. Stop it, Coach Saleh. Please stop it. So, so here we are. Zach is back. I just wanted to get this news out there. This is a big thing of what we're going to be doing is what's positive, what's good, and what do we want to know. So, unfortunately, I think Corey Davis is out. Quinn Williams is still 50-50. Leaning, if he hasn't practiced yet, you typically lean towards the player won't play. We could really use Quinn Williams. Detroit is almost I want to say an NFC version of what the Jets are. Their defense is not as good as the Jets for sure, but they play hard for their coach, like the Jets do for Robert Saleh. So Detroit's going to come here pretty fired up. So that's going to be it's not going to be a walk in the park by any stretch of the imagination. My expectation for Zach Wilson is for him to just operate the offense the way he's been operating the offense. I don't expect him to light up the scoreboard in any way, shape, or form. I personally don't care about that. This is the NFL. It is a team sport. We're going to need the defense to play big because Detroit scores a lot of points, especially at home. So when they're on the road, let's see. There is a discrepancy on road Detroit versus home Detroit. We need the special teams to just not do bad things because we've had some bad this year from the special teams. And of course, we need the offense to just flow, and it does through Zach. It has through Zach. I would like to personally see Mike LaFleur have Zach Wilson under center more because when you're under center more, everything looks a little bit more similar versus when you're in the shotgun and you're in this stationary position where, from the defense's perspective, we can see what you're doing or what you're about to do. You have a little bit better of an idea of what's about to happen, and it takes the receivers a little longer to get into the routes. Whereas from under center, you could have motion in front or behind the quarterback, and you could do a lot of different things. And this offense is supposed to be almost a carbon copy of what Shanahan runs in San Francisco. So I'd like to see Mike LaFleur really play to the strength of Zach Wilson because I don't think he's been doing that, and I don't think he's been playing to the strength of Mike White either, which is why I think the offense has struggled over the last two games, even though a lot of Zach Wilson haters will say the offenses look great and yada 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 and all these yards and whatnot and whatnot. But now people are saying, listen, all I care about is as long as we win. Well, we didn't win the last two games. So if all you care about is winning, see, it's funny. The narrative can be wins or stats, whatever gets your argument forward. Again, we're going to focus on the positive here. The Jets have had a really good season no matter what happens, whether we make the playoffs or don't. It's been a really good season. 2 wins, good draft. 4 wins, awesome draft. Now we're at 7. I'm expecting us to be somewhere between 9 and 11 to end the season, and that's incredible. We're on the right trajectory. I think what the rub in the road is with a lot of Jets fans is, do we have the GM? Do we have the coach? And do we have the quarterback? I think universally, just kind of reading through a lot of different things that I see, because I don't have a Twitter. I'm not on Twitter. I don't like social media. This is a big thing for me personally, and I'll talk about this later on in a welcome video and some other videos that I'll put up about what this channel is going to be about. Yeah, I'm just not a very put myself out there type of person. I'm a very private person. So reading what I can and what I have access to, listening to different interviews and just a little bit of research that I've done. And I don't have connections like some other people do. I think there are some Jets YouTubers that do have connections. So shout out to those individuals that have worked to build that up. But we're bringing you a different show because so much of social media and YouTube has become so negative, especially against Zach. And that's not right. We have to support our players. So especially our QB1, our second overall draft pick, who needs time to develop. So what I'm getting from around the way is that Joe Douglas doing a great job, and it seems like he's universally accepted. Robert Saleh is doing a really good job this year. I bought into Robert Saleh last year. I bought into the One Jets Drive, propaganda machine, whatever you want to call that. So even though I've been really disappointed with Robert Saleh at times this year, and we've had some real blunders, the team has in front of the podium this year. The Jets beat is just brutal. The question remains basically about Zach Wilson. I believe he's a franchise quarterback. Period. Plain and simple. He'll be here next year. I don't make that decision. So I understand that there's some hesitancy in the fan base to declare him QB1 franchise quarterback, yada yada yada. In my opinion, we should start Zach Wilson for the rest of the year so that we can see whether or not he is the guy, so that we don't go into the offseason with more questions than answers. Because again, I think everyone would like to know that we have the quarterback, the GM, and the coach. The first two might be right, the GM and the coach. Do we have the quarterback? And if we don't have the quarterback, I can accept it. Zach, I wish you the best, but I'm not going to go down that road, and I'm not going to manifest those thoughts. For now, let's just see how it goes. For everybody that's going to be at MetLife, please cheer, cheer, cheer. Support the team. No matter how ugly it gets, it might be an ugly game. Let's just, you got to support the team. You want the team, if you want the team to do well and possibly might make the postseason, you can't be out there booing if a pass, skips or something happens. You know what I mean? It's football. I think they get it wrong more times than they get it right. There's a lot of guesswork involved in the defense, the offense, and special teams. Players got to go out there and execute. We're at home. Jet Life has to be loud. Jet Life has to be home field advantage. So let's get it. I'm going to end it right there. Thank you all for joining and watching the show. Please like and subscribe for more content. And again, I'll talk to you some more about what we're going to be doing here and what this show is all about. But we want to keep it positive. We want to keep the support up for all of our players, no matter how bad or how ugly it gets. The only way forward is together. So go Zach, go Jets. Let's get after it, and I'll see you all next time.